it's all kind of cut from that same fabric, I think. It's that enjoying being with community, enjoying being around other humanity, and creating something together. And on a football field, it's a mini version of war. You are a team, you're going against another team, you're battling each other, and someone's going to win, hopefully, because nobody likes a tie.
Nobody likes a tie.
Nobody likes a tie, you know, and I don't know, I think, is my love for football different than my love for D&D, my love for trumpet, my love for, I don't think it is. I think it's kind of, well, kind of love fits everything.
Greetings! You are listening to the RF Fitness Podcast, brought to you by rffitness.net. This is the show where I yell about fitness, fatherhood, fantasy gaming, and everything else in between. I am your host, Rob Finlayson, certified older brother, fitness coach, and education enthusiast. And I'm here tonight with my co-host,
Gerritt Van Otterloo. Let's see. I don't know if I could do the epic, big, long band director, educator, father of two fabulous sons.
Love it.
Husband who is still striving to be better. Nerd / jock / reading enthusiast. There.
A Renaissance man, if you will.
Well, and I love Renfest. P.S. I mean, I'm sure everyone that's listening to this is surprised.
I'm sure everyone who's listening to this loves Renfest.
Yeah, sign us up. Let's all go. That'd be fun.
Niche market, I feel like.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So RF Fitness, and this podcast especially, has always been about bringing health and fitness to the regular people, making a daily difference, and no one exemplifies that better than our educators. So with summer tragically ending soon, some of us, well, today was Olivia's second day of first grade, tragically ending soon, I wanted to hear from a few of our educator and school staff, friends, listeners, family members, to get your side of the story about going back to school, finding time for health and fitness with a demanding schedule, and balancing your mission with your personal health. So to jump in, Gerritt, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do? What's your deal, man?
What's my deal, man? Well, let's see. Born and raised in the middle of Nowhereville, Iowa. The Okoboji Lakes region. If you've ever heard of that, then that gives you a little picture.
Okay.
You know, and so my quest growing up, I always loved sports. I always loved music. I was in choir, band, on the football team. I did baseball as long as the coaches would let me. That's a whole nother story.
Sure.
And so I always assumed that the part of me that considered myself a jock was because I was a jock. But I think my jockness actually was more of a nerdy thing than anything. Yeah, we could do a podcast on that sometime maybe, but I think I have a tendency to love things that other people love while they love it. And my dad was the hugest Vikings fan, and he was the hugest Cubs fan. And so between those two things, we watched every game together, and every year we would take a trip up to the Twins to see the Twins. So I always loved sports, but I think it was less that I loved the sport as much as I loved just hanging with Dad.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, when I look back on it, and do I still love sports? Yeah. Do I follow it? Kind of, sort of, not really, but yeah, I mean, so let's see the band trek. It's kind of funny too. I was the only one of my friends that signed up for band in the first place, which was super wild because all of my friends were jocks. Basically, they're like, "You're stupid. Sure. Why are you going after this band thing?" And I'm like, "Because trumpet. I mean, trumpet's cool.
Yeah, dude.
What are you talking about? It's not cool." And so
you're the nerd.
So I made new friends, all of my music band friends, and I was also in choir too. So I had choir friends, I had band friends, I had friends on the football team, friends on the baseball team, you know, and it was just awesome.
Yeah.
And at one point, I just realized, you know, I love band so much, I would love to be able to teach it to other people, and I was good enough at it that I thought I would do okay. And just pursued it and have loved and hated it ever since. Because, I mean, my own story with education, like, I love teaching and I love working with kids and I love the light bulb moments and I love making music, and I hate all of the red tape that you have to swim through for endless days to be a professional educator. You know, the constant proving that we are worth paying to teach.
Right. Yeah.
You got to be
Yeah.
relicensed, and you got to take this class, and you got to do this thing, and you got to jump through this flaming hoop.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I've relearned how to write lesson plans 5 different times, and this is only my 23rd year as an educator. Like,
God.
what the heck?
Yeah.
Basically every 4 years, I'm relearning how to write
They
lesson
change
plans.
it on you.
And the funny thing is, as a band teacher, I don't need lesson plans because I have a piece of music that I'm trying to teach the kids to play.
That's
and
it.
I know
That's
the parts that are going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, you need to play that because you stink. Fix it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
rocket science.
Right.
And I'm sure other band teachers might have a little bit of a difference of opinion with me on that, but that's fine. That's the beauty of being a teacher. We're all different.
Yeah.
We all have our strengths and weaknesses. And my strength is I love the kids and I love working with them. And I love making music and seeing them grow, and I teach at a small private school up here in the cities. And so I get them from 5th grade all the way through 12th grade.
Cool.
Shoot, I have a former student that just finished her master's in like archaeology in Boston. And it's like, and she literally studied bones, like people's bones.
Dope,
dude. And she taught, tell me about it. I'm like, you need to come and let me buy you coffee. She's like, are you kidding? I'm buying you coffee and you sit down and you'll like it. And she's,
that's so cool.
I think she graduated from my school like 12 years ago at this point.
Gosh.
And so I'm still connected with all these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the juice. That's why you keep doing it.
Yeah, man.
Because of the lesson planning and the curriculum mapping and the being licensed and the taking this, technology.
Yeah.
I love technology, let me tell you.
So rad.
And what I like to say is, as a trumpet player,
yeah,
my technology was invented in the 1800s, so I'm a little behind the power curve. I could tell you everything you need to know about an instrument that has 3 valves, but the computer stuff,
forget about it.
Forget about it.
How was teaching band during COVID?
It was awful.
Like everything else, I suppose, yeah.
It was literally the worst, and I'm finally starting to... So I lost a ton of students over that process.
Oh, sure.
And it had little to do with how I was teaching. It was just, band is such a... You have to be in the same room together, And sure, there were band programs that were successful, and the ones that were the ones that had all the iPads. Everybody has an iPad, so you can record each other, and then you can layer all the tech. And you better believe I got all the emails. Hey, we could do this. I'm like, no, we can't, because I'm not that guy.
Yeah, I'm not that
Get
guy.
me in a room with a bunch of kids and instruments, and we'll have a blast. But aside from
magic,
that, forget about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that kind of my second question is, what drew you to education? Was this a career you always planned on? I mean, it really sounds like it.
Kind of. Yeah. Well, okay. So super long story short, before I wanted to teach band, I wanted to be an oceanographer and study like deep sea fish.
That. Tell me about that.
That was fun. So, okay. So here's my deep dive nerdy moment. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. They finally got a video, literally deep dive. They got a video of an anglerfish swimming.
Oh, cool.
And it was the first time, because otherwise it had always been pictures. And so they got this video swimming, and I was like, I could have been that guy. That's what I wanted to do so bad. And I missed it. And then I tell all my students, they're like, yeah, but you're with us. I'm like, yeah, you guys are cool. That's okay.
I guess.
I guess. But yeah. And the funniest part of that whole thing is I have a serious fear of like touching fish. And so I have no idea how that would have played out.
Where did this come from then? Yeah.
Yeah. Why? But like when Finding Nemo came out, my mind was blown.
Oh,
just with all of that. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I'm probably about as 88 as anyone else ever. And I've never been tested for it, which I think just proves that much more.
Right.
Because I feel like we're already somewhere.
You just get away with it. Yeah. Well, I want to talk about question the third.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your history with fitness, health, sports, etc. Because I know that was
fitness,
a big part
sports.
of your...
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh, sports. I started, my first official sport was probably basketball, and I was terrible. Okay. But again, small, Nowhereville, Iowa, you can bounce a basketball when you're like in first grade. So I think that's what I started. Started baseball in 2nd grade. I started football in 5th grade. Was that 5th grade? 7th grade? 7th grade. And football really became my love in school. Yeah. I just loved. And I think to me, to some degree, it was therapy because, I mean, we didn't know back then, nobody got therapy. Are you kidding?
No. Yeah.
We're talking the early 90s. Nobody cared, and so, and it wasn't that people didn't care. We just didn't know,
Right. It wasn't
we didn't know.
there wasn't no one was equipped,
Right.
right, with
But
like the
yeah, but I've always kind of been a teddy bear to some degree. Like I get
Mhm.
along with people and I'm fairly kind to most humanity. And I put the football pads on, I just become a monster. Like I
Yeah,
could run anybody over. Um,
awesome.
and we just laugh and I'd pick them up. It
Yeah,
was so much fun. And I was okay. Like I was a pretty good football player.
sure.
But looking back on it, I needed it because even to this day, I have anger issues, like just
Sure.
deep seated, angry stuff. And that was an
Mhm.
outlet. And I think what's beautiful about music, and that was also an outlet for me to get,
Ah, sure.
especially as a trumpet player. I mean, I'm
Oh,
mad.
really?
I'm just going to play louder.
Sure. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Eat like a curly. Anyway,
Labels out, Gerritt. Labels out.
oh, sorry. But I can't drink it that way, though. The drink is this way. I need a straw. That's what I need. Anyway,
I love that idea as sport as an outlet and
yeah,
arts as an outlet for this very similar
absolutely.
thing that you're experiencing, but you were able to sort of, I feel like a lot of people maybe incorrectly assume that you're kind of like one or the other,
Yeah,
right? You know, like there's obviously this human drive to
right,
express yourself in some way, to get whatever it is out
right.
into the world, and that can be playing music or hitting people on a field or painting a
Yeah,
picture or doing a
absolutely.
backflip or whatever it is. You know, it's just different ways of expression, which I
Yep.
think is really, really cool. And one of the ways that I relatively recently have come into is Dungeons and Dragons, and that's something you and I have played together many, many
Love
times.
D&D.
Love
Mm-hmm.
D&D. Shout out to Gardane, the grave cleric from our previous campaign. Love
Oh,
that
he was one of
guy.
my favorites too, man. He was so much fun to play. I
He was a
miss
good
him.
dude. He was a fun
The
guy.
fiery red bearded dwarf. Oh my gosh.
And hearing you talk about music and football and the
Mm-hmm.
way I know you talk and experience Dungeons and Dragons as well, I wonder if we could find like the tie that binds those three. I'm making for those of you listening on the audio
Right.
podcast, I'm making a triangle with my hands right now to find these three, like, what ties them together.
I wonder. Okay, so we talked about this a little earlier, and I don't remember if we talked about it while we were
Steamrolling.
recording.
Yeah.
Steamrolling, recording. I look at my athletics more as I think I enjoyed them because I'm a nerd. I think that is actually the
Right.
kicker. So, and I think that's what gave me the chance, the opportunity to really be able to just enjoy all of these different things. Like
Mhm.
I was telling you earlier that my whole family did a musical of Shrek together, you know, and so we were all on stage acting and singing and dancing and doing all kinds of nerdy, wonderful, lovely, awesome stuff to portray a story that goes across to humanity, you know, and then you get to the end and everyone on that stage has as important of a role as Farquaad, as Shrek,
Mhm.
as Fiona. They
Mhm.
all play their part, and as we play them, it synergizes. And I
Yeah.
think it's the same stuff with playing D&D. When you're playing D&D, you've got the DM who's throwing bad guys and you're trying to kill them.
Yeah.
Of course, that's my favorite part of D&D. Then you have the people who can tell stories and actually like role play, which I'm working on.
Sure.
You know, it's all kind of cut from that same fabric, I think. It's
Yeah.
that enjoying being with community, enjoying being around
Mm.
other humanity, and creating something together. And on a football field,
Yeah.
it's a mini version of war. You are a team, you're going
Mm.
against another team, you're battling each other, and someone's going to win,
Yeah.
hopefully, because nobody likes a tie.
Nobody likes to tie.
Nobody likes a tie, you know, and I don't know, I think is my love for football different than my love for D&D, my love for trumpet, my love for I don't think it is. I think it's kind of
Mhm.
well, kind of love fits everything. So
Sure. Yeah.
that's another one of those weird.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go real deep. Sorry. Label out. I
I
feel like that
I
I feel like that bit in Wayne's World.
It's like RC Cola
Anyway,
or something like that. Yeah.
yeah. I think it was Pepsi. It was
Yeah, it's
Pepsi
Pepsi.
and Doritos, I think. Anyway,
God, what a good
that
show.
also
What a
dates me
weird
because
movie.
that is not a new movie.
That's not. So that's a solidly Gen X film for sure. Yeah.
Which is funny because I'm kind of between the Gen X and I'm like that Zennial.
I
I'm in
think you're
that
kind of a
weird.
cusper of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think as I get older, I'm more like Gen X because I'm just more angry.
Right.
I don't know.
So y'all just keep it locked in, because, like I said, in the 80s and 90s, no one talked about
Nope.
this stuff.
No.
We just
Mm-mm.
take a salt tablet and go hit some
Yep.
guys in the field. You know.
Pretty
Who
much.
was that?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Well, and
Yeah.
so in terms of, okay, to bring it back.
Yeah.
So the reason I started working out was to bulk up for football. You know, when I was a freshman in high school, I couldn't even bench press 100 pounds. I was chunky. I mean, my t-shirts literally were double XL thick was on the label. Like, seriously. Come on.
They did not give a fuck back then, huh?
No, they didn't. I should maybe talk to my therapist about that. That might help a little bit.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, what kind of emotional damage was that?
Right. the husky section, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I've always been tankish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm built like a square, you know, and so, but even then I could barely bench press 100 pounds and I get it in the weight room. And it was cool because one of my 8th grade teachers who ended up being my coach my senior year was in the room with me every single day. And we were the only 2 guys in that weight room together. And, and so, yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, because he was a footballer and he loved lifting and I fell in love with lifting. And no wonder I like bench pressing and squatting and pressing and all the power moves because that's what we did.
Yeah.
And I went from, you know, barely being able to bench press. I think it was 90 pounds was my max.
Sure. Yeah.
Starting. And then by the time I graduated, there was one time the guys refused to tell me how much they put on, but it was more than 300 pounds.
Damn. Cool.
I know. Yeah. I know because I did not do the math because as a band teacher, my math is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
Anyway,
I make the same joke about gym math. I can make change pretty fast, and I can count I can tell what a barbell weighs by sight like that. But if you want me to do like algebra, forget about it. That's just for nerds.
Yes, seriously. I was actually pretty good at math, but
I feel like you're gonna have to be really skilled in music, at band specifically, because there's so much sheet music, right?
Well, and so Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Okay.
So Pythagoras was the teacher of many people doing the thought processing.
Right.
So it wasn't just Pythagoras. It was a bunch of people. And those people came up with what we know as the major scale. So they built math and they built our music. So all of our music that we listen to, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, same people. So it is mathematical.
What? That's crazy.
Right?
I learned a while back from one of these deep dive ancient history videos that I love to watch on YouTube that Pythagoras, he had this whole cult around him, the cult of Pythagoras, and they like worshipped math essentially. But like one of the weird things was that like they don't eat beans because they considered like a form of cannibalism, I think. Because
what?
Okay. So Pythagoras had this idea, a theory, not a theorem, because that's TM now. Pythagoras.
Yeah.
He had this idea that like beans and humans come from like the same stuff, right? This was
okay. I mean,
the reason
if you want to get technical, we're all just kind of balls of stardust.
Of like carbon or whatever, you know. I'm sure he had different thought processes behind it, but I don't know. He's not around anymore to ask. Is the problem.
Right? Yeah, bummer. Yeah. Well, and what's the theory that I really like is the smallest thing is they call it a quark, which is literally just sound. It's vibrating.
What?
That's all it is. So the musician in me is like, yeah, sound built everything. This is music, and this computer is music, and my cat tree that we haven't torn down and thrown away yet is music. Anyway.
So this begs a D&D question.
Yeah.
How many bards have you played?
That's a cool question. Funny factoid. And I don't know if I've told you this. One of the first characters I built to play, and I built him to play with my family, with my wife and my sons. This was years ago. I called him a barbarian because that was one of the first things you gave me was a card that said barbarian on it way back when. Do you remember that? I do. So he's right now, he's a level 3 bard, level 3 barbarian.
That's so cool, dude.
And we did that because we were trying to build characters that were us in D&D.
I love that.
So that character is literally me, and then Miles built a character that was him, and then Halston built a character that was him,
fun.
And my wife built one that was her. And now what's fun is we've been away from that storyline for a while, but we're trying to get back on it. And so we might actually judge them so that they portray us a little bit better, because we're talking like 5 or 6 years ago.
Right. Yeah. This was the one like shutdown time. I feel like was when we started doing that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
it was a long time ago. You know, I mean, we've been playing D&D together for forever.
That's so cool,
and I
man.
love that.
Yeah. I'm so jealous of you.
Right?
I'm waiting for Olivia to get old enough to like really play like real D&D. Like we've done some like minor versions with her. So I got to figure out a way to play with her because Mo doesn't want to play it. She doesn't get down with the D&D too much, but that's fine.
That's okay. You can call me and talk about your woes anytime.
Yeah, right.
We all need therapy of some sort.
We all need therapy. And for some of us, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah,
Dungeons and Dragons.
So
and the best part, I think my wife actually gets more excited to play D&D than I do, which is saying something, because I get very excited to play D&D.
Who leads your games in your house then? Because it sounds like all four of you have characters.
Now we're in the middle of a campaign with a professional DM.
Ooh.
So it's the son of the guy who created this company called, what is it called? Shoot, I might have to look it up and tell you later. It's D&D B&B. So it's they started with the whole, you could hire them to come into your house, or they have, you can go to, the bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
And they'll run a game for you at night, and then in the morning they'll run. So we've hired the guy that owns the company to come in, and he ran a game with us where we started at night and then played again like all day the next day. And so you play through this. It was like 12 hours of gaming in one weekend. Actually,
that's almost enough Dungeons and Dragons.
Almost enough. And the best part is we did not get tired of it at all, because this guy was good.
Cool. That's good.
And so now his son is running a campaign that he built himself. And he said most groups get done in 10 or 15 sessions. And I think we just finished like session 23 back in May. Because we're just a bunch of nerds having so much fun. And we're only a third of the way through the campaign. We still have 2/3 to go. What? And he was like, this is crazy. But a D&D is so, like, what's fun is he runs so loose. Like, we'll come up with an idea and he'll be like, take that idea down. Yeah. And then he works it back in like 5 sessions later.
That's a good DM, dude. Yeah, that's a good DM.
All I will say is crab tank.
Okay.
We literally spent like 10 sessions trying to get a crab tank. And
is this like a crab the size of a tank, or a tank that's made out of a crab?
With crab legs. Yes. And it was an idea that one of us came up with, and he's like, I'm putting that in.
That sounds awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, and we were literally this close, and then it went down, something went down, and we all almost died, and we ended up winning in the end, because that's how that works.
Yeah. Because that's
just
exciting.
When you think you're dead. Yeah, just when you think you're dead, you're not. You kill everything else.
Just like in real life. That's what I love about D&D.
Maybe real life would be a little more exciting if we almost died every day.
Every day.
Actually, I'm kind of glad we live in a world where I don't have to worry about that.
Honestly, where we need to play Dungeons and Dragons in order to get that life and death excitement. From such a safe perspective. That's what makes it fun.
It is.
Like a roller coaster. You're buckled in the whole time. Yeah. So are you able to balance, especially during the school? I want to talk about like seasonally here too, because I think that's warrants a conversation. Are you able to balance your health, fitness, hobbies, passions, other projects that you might have with being in the school? Because like you said, it's not just being in the room with the kids. It's lesson planning, all the red tape and all the trainings and stuff like that. Like it's a full-time job, and then there's a full-time job that happens after that.
Right. So I'm going to answer this question knowing that you and I have been working together online now since 2019.
Yeah, that sounds about
Question mark?
Yeah.
And so over the course of 6 years now.
6 years, yeah.
Hot dang, dude. And we were working out before that together too. So that's a whole nother story.
In person, in the flesh.
In the flesh, like punching things. And yeah, dude. That was so much fun. Anyway.
Those were good days.
To get back to that again someday would be really fun.
Mm-hmm.
So over the course of our whole time, I've actually found it easier to work out during the school year because of the routine. Yeah. Now, this last season, so between you and me and everybody that's listening, this last season has been the hardest for me because I just finished what I would call my hardest year of my career.
Really?
The new beginners that have come up in the world are so vastly different in thought. Their needs are so different.
Yeah.
and their ability to sit for more than 5 minutes at a time is negligible. And so I really struggled with trying to figure out how to get them to enjoy band, to enjoy doing this thing that's very hard to do, learning a musical instrument.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it, I was just talking with my principal, literally like 2 hours ago, we were at a barbecue together, and he was like, I only lost, I think, 3 students from that group from last year to this year. So they are all signing back up again. So he's like, that's a testament to you, me, that they did actually enjoy the process. They did want to learn. And I'm going, they don't act like it.
But kind of weird way of showing it.
But that's, I mean, they're just so vastly different than the learners that I've worked with 22 years prior, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you think about it.
This would be 5th graders?
These are 5th graders. So they're the kids that they didn't have a regular 1st grade teacher to teach them how to walk down the hallway. And so, one of their biggest struggles was just walking from their normal classroom to the band room.
Wow.
It was nuts. I had one kid come in and inform me that 6 other kids had gone to a completely different bathroom on the different side of the school to goof around and do stupid things.
Oh, sure.
So I literally just took their names down and sent them straight to the office. They didn't even get to come to band for the day. And I have literally never had that happen. You know, and so
rough,
and there too, I have to say it out of my mouth too, I do teach at a private school. And so I totally know that public school has dealt with this on levels. I mean,
for sure.
It's a different story. But yeah, as a private school teacher, it's really weird. And so I never felt like I understood them at all. But they signed up again, so we'll see how that goes.
Doing something right.
Well, and they did make music at the end of the year. I mean,
all right.
It sounded like music. People were like, "Hey, that was actually kind of magical." I'm like, "I'm glad you think so."
That was pleasant to listen to.
It was pleasant to listen to. They actually sounded like music from time to time.
Yeah. I imagine, because as I've mentioned before, maybe in this episode or maybe earlier before we started recording, I'm going to interview a couple of other educators in my circles. And I imagine that's probably going to be a pretty, that's going to come up.
Yep.
Right. Is like one of the big things I've been seeing in my algo as the parent of a kid who's now in 1st grade. Everyone's saying like, this is the year all the kids born, all those COVID kids are in kindergarten this year. Like that's they are 5 now.
Yep.
You know, and like, what's that going to be? It's like, I don't like, but I think that's probably.
I did hear one story that I was talking with one of our kindergarten teachers at the end of last school year, and they said that class was the first class that like the kids came in and they were bouncy and happy and joyful like it always used to be. I mean, I think back to when I was 5, life was great.
It was awesome.
It was awesome, and learning wasn't hard because, well, that's a whole nother.
Yeah,
we try to get our kids to learn too much too fast. Humble opinion.
Sure.
But like, I mean, when I was a kid, it was normal to not go to kindergarten.
Right.
Just start school in 1st grade. And so for the fact that I went to kindergarten, I had a leg up on the 1st graders. If you do that now to a child, they're stuck like 3 years behind because they've lost so much knowledge. Yeah. You know, it's just wild. And so
it's very front loaded.
To hear that these kids coming in are starting to act and feel and behave happy.
Like a kindergartner.
Like a kindergartner should.
Yeah.
Like my heart went, yay, so I only have to wait 5 years.
Dude, right?
But I mean, and to some degree too, you know, part of the process was just having lots of talks with my principals. Like, I want to figure out how to get to these kids. I want to. I just and he keeps reminding me I'm much more effective than I think I am. I am my own worst critic. I get that.
Yeah.
But
like any creative. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's part of the creative process too.
Yeah. You're
have going to stink.
Yeah.
You're going to stink, and then eventually you don't stink so much.
Sucking at something's the first step to being kind of good at something.
Yeah. Well, and the beauty, and what I'll tell people too, like, do stuff that you suck at. Like, create something for the sake of creating. I mean, I found one. I don't knit anymore because my wrists are jacked from playing instruments and typing and they're jacked, yeah. But like I don't knit anymore. But I actually taught
Bending the needles.
Right, I had a friend teach me how to knit because I thought it would be something that would be cool to do. And man, I sucked for a long time. Like my first scarf was awful.
Really?
But I got to the point where I don't have one here, but I did 3 like full on blankets for people.
Oh, damn.
Because I just kept doing it. I sucked at it, and then pretty soon I'm not so bad. And then, hey, this is actually pretty good. And then now I can't because my wrists are like, you're too old and you have double tennis elbow and you've never played tennis in your life. You know, it's super great. I just love getting
knitting
old.
elbow. Yeah, right. Getting old rules.
Well, and
I always say getting old sucks, but it beats the alternative.
It's true. I would much rather be alive and old than young and dead.
True that. Exactly.
I mean, I had a friend who died at the age of 33, and that whole thing sucked.
Yeah.
With the family, and I still think about him all the time. That's great. That was 12 years ago now. Shoot.
Oof. How'd that happen? Yeah.
12
years.
For one thing, I will say he proclaimed that he was going to die young from when he was a teenager. So one thing you want to do is not say stuff like that to yourself all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of self-talk.
But then also he was grossly overweight. And then he had the stomach staple surgery.
Yeah.
And that was not a good move for him. And between that and then he also had crazy bad asthma. And so it was like that combo of he wasn't as strong as he really should have been for the weight that he was carrying.
Yeah.
And the asthma, he had an asthma attack that he just never got up.
That's hard, man. Yeah.
It sucks, dude. So I mean, yeah, dying young. I would much rather be old and
than alive. Yeah.
Yeah. And every time I move, something pops. That's whatever. Snap, crackle, pop, baby.
Making quirks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, all right. So I do actually really like that answer because it's very encouraging to me personally that you find it easier to work out during the school year because of routine. Because I am the same way. Like this past summer was really hard because it's like, we have nothing but freedom now. And it's just like, I have never trained less consistently than during this past summer. Because it was the first time of the school year. We're still learning. But yes, now that we're back into it, the routine is so important.
So I am looking forward to that. Miles and I did actually work out together 2 weeks in a row at the beginning of summer. And
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I just can't. It's the routine. I gotta have routine. And so when we get to the point where it's like, all right, Halston will eventually have a dance so he dances, which I love.
Yeah.
He'll have a dance at night. And so quite often what will happen is I'll drop him off, go hit the gym real quick, go pick him up, take him home. And then I'll at least get one solid workout every week because it's tied into something else. That's that age-old ADHD trick that I've learned from all of my ADHD friends.
Yep.
Tie something to something else you're doing, and you'll just automatically do it.
Stack it. Task stacking.
Stack it.
100%, dude. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So,
I was gonna say, do you boys play sports?
Fun. Okay, so gosh, keep this story super short.
Okay.
Miles has a huge love for football.
Okay.
Man, he loved watching Adrian Peterson when he was like, I think Miles was like 3 at that point. And we watched like football games together. He was in flag football forever. And then he did do padded football for 2 years. And so he's going to be a junior in high school. And he decided that he just doesn't have the need to hit people.
Huh.
And he never liked it. And when he told me that, I'm like, okay, my brain, that doesn't compute because I love hitting people.
That's why you play football.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he's actually traded so instead of doing football, he's going to be part of the play at our school.
Wow.
So, because he loves acting and he's got a great voice. And so he wants to kind of lean into that. And I'm like, that's awesome.
That's really
and
cool.
he also said the drama that comes with being in theater is easier to manage than the drama that comes with being on a football team.
That's really funny. I love that.
I know that too, because football players can be complete knuckleheads and just not get it.
So dramatic. Yeah.
Well,
man, it's too funny. Well, I love that.
Yeah, and it's funny too because so Miles is my tall. He's like 6. I think he might be almost 6'2" now. And
God, really?
Yeah,
what,
he's
dude?
just a giant.
Oh my
I know.
God, I remember seeing them as kids around the Y, bro, and they're like hip high. Oh my God,
he is a giant, but he is still that string bean. He's always been that same shape. And so there, his coaches and all the players were giving him a hard time. Like, dude, you got to bulk up. You got to bulk up. And so he would go in and lift with them, but they're doing all the heavy lifting, and he's not built for that. He's built for speed, and like him and kettlebells are perfect. And he actually likes kettlebells and dumbbells. Like he loves dumbbell presses and stuff.
Yeah.
And so when he and I work out, he enjoys it. But when he would go in with the knuckleheads, he just felt weak, and that's not the good way to do that. Because he is very strong. Like, he is very strong, but it doesn't show up in a bench press. If you don't know how to bench press, you cannot bench press a lot of them.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but when he does a fly,
and a lot of leverage with it. Yeah.
I'm going to say when he does flies, he was up 35 pounders doing flies.
Damn.
You know, not flies, but, you know, presses.
So a dumbbell press. Yeah.
Dumbbell press. Yeah. That's pretty good for someone who he hasn't. When I was in school, I spent probably 2 hours a day, every day working out.
Wow. Damn.
You know, to get jacked. That's why I'm beefy.
That's why I'm beefy.
That's why I'm beefy. You know,
you're a beefy bro, dude. Yeah.
I'm a beefy bro. Yeah.
You paid for it. You earned the beef.
I was listening to one of your podcasts. You were talking about tonnage, and I'm like, tonnage, baby. I got so excited. I wanted to throw something, like, seriously. Yeah.
I've been activated, yeah.
Yes, it's like the beast part
agent.
Of me.
Yeah.
The barbarian within just wanted to get out.
Yeah, the magic word.
Gosh, I love that.
So you've been able to find a good balance. What about when there's less structured time, like during the summer? Do you find it's better to try and force it? Do you just sort of let go and focus on other things? Is there some other type of activity that sort of takes the place of a physical outlet for you?
I do try to walk more, just in general. I try to, at least, if nothing else, take a lap around the block just to get out. And even when the smoke is smoky and it's hotter than, and you get done and I'm drenched and I got to take a shower, and I literally was outside for 15 minutes. Yeah. So I will at least do that.
This past couple of days.
It's been nuts. Like, this whole summer has been hot and smoky and and so I try to walk regularly. And I think I did okay this summer with that. And I'll just, when the moment strikes, I'll grab the app, throw down one of the dumbbells or the kettlebell, because I love the kettlebell stuff. And I'll just, or even just do some swings just to get something fluid going. And other summers we were able to, this summer we do that musical Shrek just ate all of our time.
Dude, yeah.
Miles put in 31 hours of Good Samaritan. Because that's part of his private school thing, is he does Good Samaritan hours, or good service hours they call it now. So he had 31 hours this summer, and 30 of it was with the show, either helping with costuming or he went to all the set builds and was helping set build with his grandpa, which is dope.
That's really cool.
How cool is that?
That's like, he really gets to cool.
Build stuff with his grandpa.
Build stuff with grandpa, dude. That's
I just
awesome.
can't even. Yeah. And coming from part of my health, wanting to be healthy, was both of my grandfathers died before I was born, so I never met them.
Wow, yeah.
And so I want to make sure that I stay around long enough to meet my grandkids, you know.
Definitely, yeah.
Right? Because it's kind of a big deal.
Anyways,
Anyway. But so I mean, I think the biggest thing is, too, for me, is to not beat myself up when I'm not working out. You know, because we go through seasons, and I genuinely love working out. And so when the time happens and the stars and moon arrive, I'll get some good workouts in. And sometimes I'll just get one that's sloppy and terrible, and I feel like a weakling, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because you got to do it.
But it beats the alternative, right?
It beats the alternative. Yeah.
I
always feel better at the end. It's the dreading having to put on the gym clothes and go to the gym. And, or even, you know, I work out at home a lot too. Just the idea of having cats stare at me while I'm slinging things around, it just gets weird.
Yeah. So I obviously I have the brojo down here. I used to tell people when I was earlier in my career working at the YMCA that, like, the longest walk you'll ever make is from your door to ours. And like the longest walk I make is from anywhere in my house to downstairs. To do the stupid gym that I spent like thousands of dollars putting together. I just have to walk like less than 100 feet, and I'm in fitness mode. I still have to make myself do it so many times. Yeah.
This is part of the the natural way of things. I mean, it's so much easier to just sit on the couch and watch something.
So
or
easy
play
just
a
to
video
doom
game.
scroll and just
Doom scroll.
yeah.
Shoot. Yeah.
Hey,
I will say,
yeah,
one of my tries to get out of screen time land was to get back into reading, because I've always loved reading.
yeah.
So I am now about 2/3 of the way through the 3rd book of Game of Thrones.
Nice, dude. All right.
And those books are thick.
They're dense, thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot more reading, which helps.
I've actually picked that up. I was inspired by Mo, who made a very intense effort. I think last summer is when she really started picking up reading like physical books.
Yeah.
Again, and I was really inspired by that, and so I've been reading more. We talk about it all the time in the Discord now. There's a whole channel for it. Jump in the Discord, guys. If you haven't yet, go to rfitness.net. All the stuff, you know what to do.
All the cool people in the world are there, so you need to be there too.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm about halfway through the first book of the Red Rising series.
That's awesome.
Which I'm enjoying thoroughly. Yeah.
Cool.
I think in the Discord I said it's about as subtle as a heavy metal show, but it rocks just as hard at the same time.
Yep.
But it's funny, if you've read the book, you know that rocks play a large part in
That's so
drilling into them. I
okay,
suppose.
I'm gonna have to pick that one up when I get done with Game of Thrones, but
it's cool. Yeah, you'll like it a lot, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so last question here. What's something you'd want people to know about being in education and going back to school from your insider perspective to an outsider?
Insider to outsider. Gosh, that's a cool question. And that's super, super deep on a whole nother level. I think the biggest thing is, you talk about that long walk to the gym, being an educator, like summertime for a lot of us I'm in a really interesting spot where when summer comes, kids at school call me Mr. V. So I take Mr. V and I put him on a shelf and I don't think about him for the better part of June and July. Like I don't do any work on that. We're supposed to read a book in the summer and I just finished the book like a week ago because I started it the first week of August.
Yeah.
And so just knowing that it's that slow walk and getting into it, and parents quite often will be super pumped because they're like, I get to get rid of the kids. Yay! And so there's this weirdness of being that educator that's like, I am excited to see the kids. And it's actually when they walk in the door and back to school night where my light that I take Mr. V back off the shelf. And I'm like, okay, this is why I keep doing this. Because and again, it's for me, it's that red tape. I just loathe it so much. And it's worth the burden. It's worth that slow plod to get back into it, to be able to then teach the kids and love on them and help them love life a little bit more, to hear them, to acknowledge their existence as humanity. And educators love that part of it, and we genuinely do. But sometimes that comes off kind of weird, as I imagine as a parent would be looking at a teacher like, just had 3 months off. Well, most teachers actually work all summer. Yeah. I'm the weird one that actually takes time off to spend with my family.
Right. Yeah.
Gosh, it's wild. And I was thinking about this too. I was hoping to be able to work this in somewhere, and I think I'll plug it here. Whether it fits perfectly or not, you can decide that.
We'll feel it in.
One of the conversations that I love to have with parents.
Yeah.
I'll say it with an edge of sarcasm because I do enjoy having this conversation, but it bugs me that I have to, is the whole, well, when I was a kid and I was in band, this is what band looked like. And how I teach band and how we do band at this teeny little private school is vastly different. And in my opinion, what we have is beautiful in and of itself, but I don't test the kids all the time. I don't make them play every major scale. I don't have chair playing tests. My goal with the kids is to get them all in the room, get them playing stuff together that they enjoy playing together. And between you and me, if they're not playing super great, as long as they're having fun and they're plugging in the community, I love that. Not every band teacher would say that. I worked with a couple band teachers over the years. It's like, man, you can't play. Get out. Go somewhere else.
Wow.
And I will never tell a child that. I want to include anybody who wants to be in the band room. And so that conversation I was telling you about, like every year I have 1 or 2 parents that come to parent teacher conferences. And that's what they'll be like. When I was a kid, it was this way. Why is it so different here? And it almost comes off as isn't this a wrong way to do it?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of
And
what
so
they're
I guess,
saying without saying it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, and I am a parent too, so I'm always putting on my parent hat when I'm talking to
Yeah.
teachers about my kids.
Yeah.
Like, just know that the teachers really love your kids.
Yeah.
They do, and it's different, and the game keeps changing, the
Mm-hmm.
rules keep changing. The kids have, it's like the whole AI thing. Like,
Mm.
what does education become with AI? What does, and
Yeah.
all these balls and scenarios and situations, and when you boil it down, we're humans that need to be around other humans
Yeah.
to help think, to help grow, to help use AI as a tool. That's cool, but
Right.
don't let it do your thought processes for you. Don't
Totally.
let it make your art for you. Don't let it create poetry for you.
Yeah.
Don't let it write your book reports for you. Like,
Right.
like allow your kids to make the messy, sloppy, stupid human mistakes so that they learn and grow, and allow your teachers to do the same, because we screw stuff up a lot,
You're
and
also
we don't feel
humans.
good about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so having that weird phone call it's hard. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
we're all in the game together, and so
Definitely.
as we approach it, just I'd love to encourage anyone who has kids and has teachers that are
Yeah.
difficult, and I tell kids all the time, there's every school you go to, there's teachers that certain kids hate, and it's
Sure.
like, guys, you do realize they love you and they're trying to teach you the best that they
Right.
can.
Yeah, I
They
know.
just, you're not jiving with them, but
Mm-hmm.
Johnny loves that teacher. We all had our favorites, and
Yep.
like it's all a beautiful mess, you know
Yeah.
and so just and let your kids get B's and C's. Let
Yeah.
them.
Just let them,
They don't
man.
have to have A's.
Yeah.
They don't have to be perfect. I see so many kids have so much struggles with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm maybe a bad influence too, because I'm a Toys R Us kid and I don't want to grow up
Yeah.
because
I
adulting is
love
dumb,
that. Adult
and
agreed. Yeah.
and so it's like, stay a child as long as you can. Let your kids make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Let them figure stuff out. They don't all have to be a scholar. They don't have to be great at any. Let them figure it out,
Yeah.
and they will,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Let them
know.
use that human brain to figure out
Yeah,
human solutions to human problems, which is the only kind of problems they're gonna have.
let them figure it out. If there's
Yeah.
one thing I kind of wish that and I don't know what that would look like,
Hmm.
but I was so hardcore mode wanting to be a teacher that I would not have been able to see anything else. And so,
Sure.
like, I have had students come back to me and they're like, well, I have one student in particular who just got a really good, he's bounced from job to job to job. And every
Yeah.
time he's come to have coffee with me, he's like, I'm so sorry I didn't make anything of my life. I'm like, dude,
Oh,
you're
what?
living, you're breathing, you're
Yeah. Yeah.
paying taxes, for goodness sake. You are doing the dream. And
Yeah,
I'm
man.
proud of you, And he's
Yeah.
like, really? I'm like, yes. You don't
Yeah.
have to be the president.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be someone who's going to change the world. Just exist, do the best you can, and love
Yeah.
the people around you. And he does that. You know,
Yeah.
that is an A+ to me, as opposed to, hey, I got straight A's in every class. You know,
Yeah.
it's just wild. The pressure that
Mm-hmm.
these kids have to live under is nuts.
It's tough.
Let
Yeah.
the pressure off a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a really good overall message. I feel like it really encapsulates kind of just like the mindset, the mission mindset
yeah,
of
yeah,
teaching, specifically
yeah.
like the way you do it and like the way you approach these kids, which is really, really good, very powerful stuff.
It's good stuff. It's not necessarily the stuff that makes me look like a good teacher,
Sure.
you know,
Right. Yeah, because you're the
but
person for that grade or whatever.
you know, but I'm always encouraged by the kids that come back and they're like,
I was gonna say, but the kids are coming back, like they say,
kids come
you're
back,
doing something right. Yeah.
doing something right,
Yeah, man.
And yeah, I think most teachers feel like failures at some point, you
Mm-hmm.
know, just like students do. And frankly, the failing isn't the problem. It's the getting back up. It's the brushing off.
Yeah.
It's the getting back in the gym. It's the getting back to it. It's the
Mm-hmm.
continuing to go down the road, and just growing,
Yeah.
and caveat, be a good human.
Yeah. How about that?
Think about that for a second.
For your consideration.
Right?
All right, Garrett. I think this was an
Love it.
excellent beginning to my little educator series here. What
Love
a
it.
crack of the cold ones
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Do
And
you mind?
seriously,
Do you mind
Rob,
favorite? Yeah.
seriously, like I feel so honored that you wanted to do this call. I love this. It's thank you. I
This is one of
appreciate
my
it.
better ideas. I'm going to admit
I
doing
agree.
it and having you on. This has been the RF Fitness Podcast. Yes, I'm available for online and hybrid in-person coaching on a limited scale. To find out if it's right for you, you can head to rffitness.net. That's rffitness.net, and then scroll all the way to the bottom of the page to see what kind of coaching I offer. You should do the client application and hit join the party to jump into our community Discord server for free. Our theme music is Funk AF by Everett Ullman, distributed at YouTube Studios. Thanks for listening, guys, and as always, say it with me, Gerritt. Keep questing.
questing.
Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
That's awesome.